Well, in case you're wondering why we're starting the report lines, I just want to show you how miserable it is outside. Look at that. It's been doing that all morning. Oh well. Let's get back into position. So, hello from a miserable Worcester on a Tuesday morning. And it's time for a report. Bear with me. Got a fair amount to get through today. As I've noticed through all my various odds and sods that, well, there's quite a lot. First thing I want to bring up is two articles I spotted on Counterfactual. First one is the Tobacco Products Directive after the insurrection, what next? Again, I will provide a link across here and down in the description below. Now that goes into a lot of detail about how things are probably going to move forward, what's needed for the new nicotine market, regulation fit for purpose, the best way forward, a new proposal from the Commission, benefits of the approach, good policy, good politics, rapid progress of tobacco measures and no downsides, and cautionary note and more detail. So I do recommend going along and having a good read of that. I'm not going to sort of skim over it like I've done in past weeks with articles as such, because Clive Bates, with his counterfactual stuff, is very, very in-depth, and I just don't have the time to read it to you from a YouTube point of view. So that's that one. Another interesting one that's popped up as of the 21st of October was e-cigs and regulation. What do investment analysis think? And we'll pop into that one when my computer decides to catch up. On the whole, a lot of, I presume they're investment banking groups, are saying things along the lines of, for example, the Euromonitor International non-line tobacco article, tobacco industry analyst Shane McGuill notes dead hand of regulation on e-cigarette growth and hence health impacts. Overview: the trend to medicinalisation threatens to stifle e-cigarette growth. Medicinalisation risks dampening or reversing e-cigarette growth and therefore becoming a costly exercise in the art of pleasing no one. Fitch goes on, Goldman Sachs, a win for the burgeoning e-cigarette market. These will not broadly be classified as medicines, which would have restricted sales. And it generally seems quite a positive article from the investment market, or the market itself. So get yourself along to Clive Bates, the Counterfactual. I think it's www.clivebates.com, and you'll get that. Remember, Clive Bates was once the chief at ASH, Action of Smoking Against Smoking Harm. So, and you'll have a link to follow him on Twitter, which I recommend you do. Actually, while I was thinking about it, I'll just make sure that I've done that. And I'm not going to give a link to the article that this was found on because it's in Swedish, and both myself and the big boys have had to use Google Translate, which is not the best tool in the world for translating into any language, let alone English. But basically, Sweden have had the MPA, their version of the MHRA, overturned in their Crown Court or High Justice Court. Now that makes now 8 in the European Union. Essentially, the precedent, legally speaking, is now growing. So that's 8 cases that have been overturned in favour of the vapour at the end of it all. Britain and the UK has a 3 or 6 month window for injunctive relief, which essentially is the same sort of thing. I'm not going to go into legal jargon because again I'll be here for hours trying to explain that. And this needs to be announced substantively. They need to make a substantive announcement they are going to do this, whoever decides to tackle this. So far it's only been an announcement of intent, which isn't good enough, frankly, legally speaking. The MHRA are of course going to seek European Union ratification of what is illegal moves. I've mentioned that in previous reports. If I can find it by the time that this is finished rendering, I will put a link below to the report that I've mentioned that it was an illegal move. I've always said it was an illegal move to medicinalise this, and that comes from the jury committee and I believe even the ENVI committee. And the jury is the legal arm of the European legislative group. If they say it's illegal, it's illegal. And they said, yep, that's illegal. And that decision that the jury have made at the very least has been invoked in, I believe, at least some of the cases that have been won, like the Germany one, the Sweden one and so on. And even the MHRA have admitted, not saying that they're making an illegal move, but they have admitted that they cannot, under current legislation, medicinalise or use medregs against e-cigarettes until ratification of their proposal by the EU is adopted. And that was in a letter to Totally Wicked some while ago. Again, I think I've reported on that. An interesting note, Italy's taxation of e-cigarettes is something like 58%, which is sort of in line with tobacco taxation, and it's causing bricks and mortar stores, at least, I'm excluding foreign imports there, because obviously we know we can get foreign imports stupidly cheap, to sort of crumble, which is bad. Avalli, who produces the e-Vic, are one example. And finally, actually, do you know what? I thought this was going to take forever, this one, but clearly not. Finally, and again I will give you a link here and in the description below, Marketing Week. E-cigarette advertising rules are to be rewritten. Well, that is brilliant, I think. Basically, the ban on e-cigarette advertising has been reviewed. At the moment it's being considered the same as tobacco advertising. Simply it's just not allowed at all, pretty much. If you remember a little while back, I remember, I think it was just before Christmas. There we go. Just before Christmas, my other half came running through saying, "Oh, you should get the telly, look at this, there's an advert for e-lights." Or just after Christmas. Sort of in the new year, let's do our resolutions part of the way things go. And, sorry, excuse me, a bit of drama. And there was this Dancing Baby advert. That, after this whole rigmarole of crap that's been going on, is now effectively banned. Not allowed to advertise that, but evidently the CAP and the BCAP are considering reviewing this, and it's going to go through a public consultation. I'll give you the link to this page so you can read the article yourself and find out how to get involved with that. But it is sort of, it smacks of the MLX 364 consultation that the MHRA has supposedly done, which is also supposedly public, but it would seem that the MHRA say boo and the government go ooh. So yeah, try and get involved in that one if you can, and remember that you as people forget just how powerful we actually are, right? We have a very loud voice now across all our social media networks, Twitter, Facebook, all our forums, my own included, although it's very fledgling. Get on it, justvapes.co.uk, a little hyphen in between the just and the vapes link. Contact your MEPs, keep doing all that, keep moving forward, because there's no stopping the likes of McCavan and all this other, and of course there's also no stopping us. So remember just how much power you've got in your hands when it comes to these people. They do need to listen to you. Get involved in all those things, especially this one, because if that goes to public review, then basically any nail we can slam into the coffin with a sledgehammer, to quote somebody, can only do us good. So yeah, keep that in mind. Swedes have had a little victory, so well done Sweden. It's this kind of stuff we like to hear. That's real good positive action going on, and UK people, anybody who's in a position to bring this to like the Crown Court or the High Justice Court, whatever it is in England, and the UK for that matter, let's get this rolling, let's put it out. It has been voted for in the European amendments, TPD amendments, that e-cigs should be safe and are safe from medicinalisation. Stop these idiots now. Let's get a High Court injunction on them to say no. So, I've been a Fury79, you've been gorgeous. This has been a report, a lot quicker than I thought it would be. Peace.